Hello, guys, and yeah, a podcast. Man, I should have looked up when the previous podcast we did, but oh well. Uh, Pitchcast, or whatever episode it is, who cares? I'm with Lazule, and
Hello.
yeah, and maybe we'll do more podcasts in the future. Like maybe try and do like a bit more often instead of like one every 3 or 4 months. Um, what do you think?
I'm down to that, honestly. If I can arrange the schedule with yours, yeah, we can get something going. Because I don't do a lot. I'm super free these days.
Yeah, and we also will live in like two different parts of the world,
Yeah, exactly.
like Europe and the Americas.
Exactly.
Um, all right. Which of these topics did you want to do first? Um,
Let's go with the political one first, honestly,
all
because
right.
it's the one that I have in my mind right now.
All right. Yeah,
So,
start. You can start off with it because I don't really know that much because I have been trying to stay out of American politics and all of that this entire
mm,
year. Like,
which is good, yeah. I understand, yeah. Because it encompasses a lot of your life and shit, you know. It takes away so much time as well. Anyway, so the topic the U.S. foreign policy topic is about Joe Biden. You know, the changes from Trump to Biden, which I will argue that they are worse because for foreign policy at least, Trump was better than Biden. He was more peaceful as well. You know, he was less imperialist and whatnot. And Biden is pretty much the fucking face of empire, right? And things have gotten much worse. You know that like the U.S. has done a lot of copes and shit, and just with Biden alone, as soon as he took power, he attacked Syria again, right?
yeah,
And then I think things with Iraq got fucking you know fucked up again, and then he took the troops away from Afghanistan. The Taliban is taking over again, almost instantly, by the way. Also, like Cuba had a quote unquote color revolution, which is like a cope, a CIA cope. Um,
wait, what? What was the CIA coup?
yeah, coup, sorry. In Cuba.
Oh, Cuba. All right.
Yeah, and also Haiti. In Haiti, the president got fucking assassinated by a gangster that had American weaponry. Yeah, he had ARs and whatnot. So it's a little bit a little bit suspicious in there. And also, there is conflict with the USA in Somalia now as well. So it's like 5 countries or six or more. And I almost forgot. Also Ukraine, you know, because the U.S. is waging a proxy war against Russia now. There is some Ukrainian neo-Nazis um, in um,
Yeah, I remember that as
in
well.
in,
And
in
then
Donbass.
probably in Belarus as well. Um,
I don't know Belarus, but maybe. But yeah, like in Donbass, they are funding a neo-Nazi squad called Assad Battalion, something like that. And the US is funding it. Also Israel, obviously,
all right.
because their enemy is Russia, pretty much. They are making the today the way that countries do war to not get in Cold War in Cold War like tensions is by waging proxy wars, right? Like you found a militia and a small militia that is not really directly associated with you, right? So they can do that war for you, pretty
Yeah.
much. So your country doesn't get dirtied up. So yeah, that's happening, and for those reasons, I think that Biden is much worse. Also because Biden, the Democrats are better at distracting the workers from their main issue, right? Like the whole class struggle and whatnot. Biden is much better at holding the thread above the eyes of the people, pretty much. The Democrats have always been better at doing the whole bread and circus thing.
All right. Yeah.
Uh,
In the sense that For example, when Trump was president, people were more conscious about the wars that at least when people, specifically, I'm talking about Americans and also some Europeans actually, more
Yeah.
conscious about the wars that Americans were doing and like, why are we even supporting the Americans? I mean, I know, like I talked to some Germans and they
Uh-huh.
were like super pro Obama. Like before that, they were like super
Yeah, because
anti-war. They were very
because they're
anti,
NATO, you know.
yeah, but they were very anti-war during the Bush years. And then
Oh yeah.
when Obama became president, all of a sudden they weren't as vocal about like get America out of the Middle East, like stop killing these like brown people, and also they wanted the Americans out of Germany as well. But then when Obama was not, it started being quiet,
You
and
know
then
why that is? It is because the Democrats have always subverted politics pretty much, like the attention, because
uh,
they rise up identity politics bullshit, right?
yeah,
Like
I mean it is the like false sense of that. Apparently, the Democrats are against war and the Republicans for war.
yeah, yeah, that's
and
bullshit,
and you have to
obviously.
think like, I cannot attack someone who's supposedly a leftist because then I'm attacking my own. I think that is more the reason why, which I think is retarded. I mean,
Yeah,
you should really attack your own if they're doing things you don't agree. Like
uh,
you have a bigger chance of influencing so-called your own than the opposition, I would say, especially if your own are in power. Like that is the perfect time to influence them to. Well, you should probably influence them before they get to power. But um, yeah, so in my opinion, also in my lifetime, um, Trump was the only American president that did not start wars, that had not started a war.
he
So
only did one single thing that was like kind of shaky, I guess,
I
for
think
in
killing
politics.
that Suleiman was
Soleimani, yeah, exactly,
Soleimani.
exactly.
Yeah,
Just Soleimani, that's it, that's it.
yeah,
Nothing more from there. He was the most freaking pacifist president in a long ass time, and that's saying something.
yeah.
Holy
That is
shit!
saying something since he did bomb a fuck ton as well. He didn't bomb as much as Obama did, but he did bomb a fuck ton.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, the U.S. is always bombing. You know, it's an empire, and they want to expand, and
Yeah, but
they
I
have
don't find that
expanded their.
okay at all. Even if it is
Yeah, I
Trump, or
mean, not me
even if
either.
he was less, even if he didn't start any new wars. Like
Obviously, obviously,
yeah,
I
and to
agree with you
me,
fully.
there's like when people say, "Oh, Trump is a warmonger," blah blah. It's like you're talking about Biden here. I mean, Biden,
He is empire. You know,
yeah,
he is the deep state.
he
He is the
pushed
deep state.
the fucking Iraq war, Afghanistan. He was part of the Obama administration who started 5 new
Exactly,
wars. When Bush was
exactly.
in office, America was in 2 or 3 wars, and then when Obama left, they were in seven. So it's
But
kind of
it's so
like,
funny. It's so funny that Biden actually makes people shut the fuck up. You know, he's way better at doing the whole bread and circus that I'm telling you. Uh,
yeah.
the Democrats have always been that way. You know, they are
Well,
the best fucking psychological operatives in fucking in America. Pretty much the
yeah,
PC ops, whatever they call them, right?
and I think the reason why people are being quiet and not listening, I don't think it has anything to do with Biden himself. I think it has 100% to do with just
Liberalism.
yeah, and also the fact that we have to stick together with our so-called group and hate the other group. Like it's
Yeah.
tribal mentality, which
Yeah, it's the stupid culture war shit, pretty much. Americans are perpetually trapped in the culture war, and it's it's getting out of hand. I believe that maybe this
and
is too controversial.
it
This is
has
too controversial
revved.
to say right now. This is super controversial to say right now. I hope that it doesn't get the fucking video censored, but maybe there is a chance that America ends up like in a civil war, Civil War II or something, or balkanizing, separating itself and whatnot.
Yeah, I hope. let's hope that they become balkanized.
Yeah, I hope it too, but you know why? Because I'm more of an accelerationist. It's the philosophy that you gotta rush things down, so they get to their inevitable end, pretty much.
Yeah, because if you think about it, America is basically just a bunch of countries working together. I mean, they're called the United States of America.
Hmm.
Like, so I mean, I would also argue that China should also be balkanized in a sense. With
No,
mention,
but no, 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 but it won't. It won't. You know why? Because to be honest, Aristotle and Socrates and Plato were right. Autocratic states are more stable. They have more national cohesion.
yeah, yeah. I don't think
Absolutely,
China
absolutely.
will. The only way China would split up is if an outside force forced them to split up. At least in the
Which
that
they are doing. The Americans are doing exactly that
yeah,
at
but
this moment. But
uh,
they
I
are
mean,
failing.
you
They are
would have
failing,
to
to be
go to
honest.
war. You would have to go to a direct war, I believe.
We'll see what happens. It is getting really interesting for geopolitics. Yeah, in the future, it will get really interesting because there is like a Eurasian bloc now. Did you know that Russia and China are actually participating in like war games to prepare for something? If anything happens, and this is scaring America a fuckload.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
and they should, because it's pretty much the end of their empire and it's the rise of Eurasia, because China is actually becoming the number one economy really quickly.
yeah, but
Uh,
I mean, the problem with China when it comes to that is that believe that they're a paper tiger. Like China is, I would argue, probably more fragile than America is at the moment. Uh,
I'm not sure about that, but
no, I think so because if America or the European all started to say, all right, we're not going to give China these amazing trade deals. We're not going to, like offload cheap labor to China.
mhm.
China would be destroyed. Like China at the moment, they maybe who knows what the future holds for them. But at the
Yeah,
moment, they rely on that to prop them up. Because what is China going to do? Let's say Europe and the Americas, all that implement this. How is China going to like do anything? They're completely surrounded. I'm pretty sure America by itself could take out the entire world. If let's say if America became the new Third Reich or the Fourth Reich, I think they would succeed in their mission.
not quite. You know why? Because of Russia. Because if something like that happens, Eurasia becomes one. You know what I mean? Like China will ally with Russia, and Russia and China together are one of the strongest militaries in the world as well.
Yeah,
They
but
they can they can compete as against America really really fucking well,
you think
actually.
so? I
So
don't
so
think they would. I
I would
think they
think
would
I don't think
falter
so.
immediately.
I'm not sure, well, I don't know. It's a theory, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh, but
Um,
yeah, let's leave it there, I guess, and let's change the topic a little bit. Do you remember that in your Pokemon game, Pokemon Uranium, I think it was called the
yeah.
fan game?
Yeah.
Did you remember that you called your flame Pokemon, your fire Pokemon, Trump?
Yeah, because the
But
person
yeah,
who wanted, the
the
person
the,
who
the
won
first.
that wanted to be called Trump.
Okay, gotcha. Nice, nice, nice. It's just something that I'm recalling right now.
Yeah.
So let's move on to YouTuber motivation to that topic. Um, what do
Uh,
you think that motivates you to record videos, to do stuff, for your YouTube channel? Because you really don't have to, right? You do it out of boredom because of creativity, pretty much.
yeah. And that's the only reason to have something to do. Um, and also to get at least some like social engagement. Because
Uh,
I barely have any social engagement in real life.
Me
Um,
too. At this moment, me too. Because of COVID, I still have my real life friends that I had with since like probably elementary school, but I haven't been hanging out with them, at least once a month or less because of COVID.
Yeah.
Which by the way brings me to side topic, real quick. I already got the shot. I already got vaccinated, I guess.
All
We
right.
cannot talk a lot about this topic because I think that YouTube censors your fucking video. So
Yeah,
let's call it
but
something else.
uh, I mean, I think we can talk a little bit about that. Like, what? All right, you got vaccinated. Like, is YouTube gonna be like, oh no, he said he was vaccinated. Stop it. I don't think so.
Yeah, well, sometimes they fucking censor your fucking videos because of that.
Oh
Not gonna
well,
lie,
if
dude, I was worried about fucking becoming infertile and shit after the shot, because of the conspiracy theories and whatnot. I'm still not sure if those theories are correct. I don't think so, but I got Cypher pretty much the 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 Gringo vaccine, the American one.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm probably not going to get vaccinated.
Yeah, because you don't need it, right? So,
Yeah. Also, since my doctor said I shouldn't, I'm in a risk group that cannot
oh,
get vaccinated.
makes sense, makes sense.
Yeah. Which is why when I go out, well, I say when I go outside, the only time I go outside is when I go to the hospital or whatever. So obviously you wear a mask then.
By the way, Andreas, do you have like physical illnesses, right? You have a physical condition, right?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. I well, this is another side topic, but I'm not gonna lie, I do believe, to some point, I do believe in eugenics. To be honest, like to have less people that are physically ill or mentally ill, even, but the mental thing would be much harder to get rid of. Although, if I'm frank, I myself, I have no problem with physically ill people. Because, for example, you're super rational. You're a super rational human being. But mentally ill people, holy shit, dude! Like I legit lose patience very easily with them. For example, insults are usually mental cells, what they call mental cells,
Yeah.
and I lose them patience, super quickly. To be
Yeah,
honest.
me too, since, I mean, I'm not gonna name any names, but I think I've talked about this before, that one guy that I used to talk to on Steam,
Uh-huh.
um, every time I talked to him, he would always talk about women. No matter the context or anything,
Yeah,
we would do
they
anything, and he would always bring out how much he dislikes women, all that. Like, and then I told him, like, could you please just shut the fuck up? If you say anything related to women, even if it is in context, I will block you. And then he talked about like I think a day later, he talked about, oh fuck, some show, and then in the show there was a girl. I was like, nope, you said the girl, blocked, boom. Like, and I haven't
Yeah.
talked to him since then. And it's not just him. Like, I've talked to like 3, 4 incels. The people who come up to me and say, I'm an incel. I'm like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
It's like, people, why do you even have to tell me that you're an incel? Like, I don't care. Like, um, so it's a bit kind of
They,
like how those people, like, you meet them and the first thing they say is like, oh, I'm vegan.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
It's like your personality trait, or like, I'm a nice guy. Like, that is your personality trait. You're an
It's like a
incel.
it's like a sort of virtue signaling, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays, I guess, for internet points and whatnot. Well, anyway, another side topic. I made my own Discord server. It's been having success and whatnot. I have my community, and all the fucking topics eventually gravitate to something libido related, right? To the insults and shit. I have a lot of fucking insults in my community. I don't know how the fuck I got them, but it's basically because I allow no rules, no rules in my server.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
because
but
of that.
also
I'm pretty sure.
wasn't your I mean, I did not join it.
No,
Um,
obviously not. It's very you wouldn't like it. It will be too normy for you, I guess, and easily. But it became like that in its own, pretty much. And it's because of that. It's because I think that my theory is right. Like a lot of dudes cannot control their libido well, or they don't know where to fucking put it and shit. So they complain about one woman, or they fucking talk about woman in some way and shit. Blah 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 blah. But yeah, like, my Discord server is showing me showing to me all those things. It's like research, I guess, into
Yeah,
the human
like,
mind.
and I mean, it is a good that people have places to vent. I mean, I think censoring those people, I think, is wrong, even though I don't want to hear them. Like, if they can have their spaces where they can talk to each other, I think that's completely fine and probably healthy in a sense. Okay, hello guys, and this is a little bit of a break in the podcast. I'm doing a drink review of a drink called Wolverine Sugar Free. It's lightly carbonated with caffeine and taurine, and I'm assuming it's just going to be a normal energy drink flavor, like sugar free. So let's try it. Yeah, exactly. Um, it tastes like a Monster sugar free. It's good. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just the normal energy sugar free energy drink. I like that it's lightly carbonated, so I think that makes it better than the Monster one. And yeah. Also, while me and Lazule are doing the podcast, I'm actually eating some Lux Pit, um, which is just chopped up or cubed potato with cubed salmon. And then I then or like I should not say I because I didn't do it. My mom added some maize, or I think in America it's called like sweet corn. They're yellow. Some peas, some carrots, and some broccoli. And yeah, and also some vattenkastanje, I think, which I think is like water. I actually have no idea what vattenkastanje is in English, but it's good that we live in the information age to where you can look that up pretty easily. Vattenkastanje engelska. Water chestnut. Yeah, it contains that as well. And it's good. Along with, my just random spice seasoning.
Now let's talk about Cuckold Simulator, that new game in Steam that is made by a Polish guy. So it's a game about being a cuckold in California, pretty much. You get caught by a black man and whatnot. It's a funny joke game, I guess, that makes fun of the lifestyles of cuckolds in America. Um, it's like a parody of American society. Uh, it's good, like for the price, it's $2, I think. And it has, the Pride Month DLC. They made a Pride Month DLC, a Mask DLC, all those things that been happening recently.
All right.
You should play that game because it's like kind of related to your, not really to your channel, but more to your audience, like the interests of your audience. I'm not saying that they are cuckolds, but
Yeah,
they
no,
they
that
they
they,
like that sort of memes.
yeah, or the fact that they might have a bias towards like the Californian culture.
Yeah, I hate California culture as well. I think it's the most fucking stupid in the world for sure. It's
Yeah,
it's it's pretty much virtue signaling the culture. That's it. All they do is virtue signal all day. They are pretentious. They are super pretentious.
I mean, I think I'm a bit more neutral. I mean, I do dislike a lot of it, but there
Hmm.
are like things that I like about the California culture. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of the things that we use and all that, like when it comes to like the tech industries, and also when it comes to agriculture, like California are like way ahead of the world, I would say, in a lot of things. Um,
What do you mean exactly? Like Silicon Valley and stuff?
yeah,
Like Twitter?
Silicon Valley, but also their ability to do the amount of farming that they do in like pretty much a desert is a bit like Israel. We all have like things about Israel we don't like,
Obviously, yeah.
but
Every, I for
their
myself,
farming
every
and their agriculture, I think, is really, really interesting, and it's probably something that, I mean, in Sweden we don't care about that, since in Sweden we produce a fuck ton of food, like, and not only a fuck ton of food, but also a fuck ton of just what I think you would consider organic in America. In Swedish, called ecological, but we
uh,
produce a fuck ton of that, um, which is
real quick,
why, yeah.
a side topic, real quick. Did you know that Israel was going to originally possibly be in like three places? They had like a lot of options that were more peaceful, without fucking having to afford a fucking war against Palestine and whatnot. And those places were going to be Alaska was one of them. Ashkenazis were planning to buy the land of America there, Alaska. Also, Ethiopia. To get Ethiopia, they will have to dominate them or something. So it was Ethiopia or Uganda, I don't remember. But I read the book of the Zionist theorist, Theodor Herzler, something like that. It's called. I read his book.
Oh yeah, no, I did not know that.
And the third option was in Russia because Stalin was planning to give because Russia and around those paths, right? Like around Czechoslovakia, around Austria, and the Balkan states, right? Around the Balkans. There were a lot of Ashkenazis, pretty much. And Stalin, when the USSR was a thing, planned to give them a Jewish autonomous oblast in Siberia, somewhere around Siberia, to the north of Manchuria in China, to the north of that place. So like kind of close to Mongolia, which is really good, for farming, I guess. It's better than the fucking desert, to be honest.
Yeah, and I mean, I do know the thing about Russia, because there is, I know, oh fuck, there is a place. I'm pretty sure it is in Russia that's called like Little Israel or something like that. It's called
Yeah, the
something.
the, the Jewish autonomous oblast,
Yeah,
probably that, yeah.
yeah. Even though, I mean, there's basically no Jews living there, it's still called the Jew.
No, they didn't like the place pretty much.
Yeah.
They wanted the Holy Land and shit because of stupid fanatical religious reasons and whatnot. Which brings me to my next argument, which is I think Israel is stupid as fuck. To be honest, they could have avoided a war and spending a lot of money if they went there to those places that I mentioned instead of having to fuck with the Palestinians. But they wanted the fucking Holy Land because Jerusalem is so fucking holy and whatnot for some fucking reason. Yeah, they suck that place off so much to the point that they don't give a fuck if they have to genocide a people's natives from that place. And yeah, and it costed a lot. They had to do a war, infrastructure, invest in that thing, in the army, modernizing it, etc., etc. It's a lot of money wasted, in my opinion. If I wanted to be strategic about it, I will just went with the Stalin option. I will have made my country in the autonomous oblast, and that's it. But whatever, it is what it is. Humans are stupid sometimes. Andreas speech list. What do you mean by that?
Oh yeah, no. That was just like my. Then after that, we'll be painting. So, Andreas' piece list is just like to segment. Like, all right, these are like my list, except for Bannerlord should have been higher up. But painting, And I guess this would be related to the YouTuber motivation one, because motivation when it comes to painting figurines, um,
Uh,
like I have a really hard time motivating myself to paint,
I
um,
feel.
even though I really like doing it, and that is, the thing, like, um, trying to get yourself to do something you like. How do you get the motivation to do that? Uh, do you understand a bit what I mean? Like,
Don't you feel that when you had to go to school and all those things, when you had less time for yourself, you wanted when you the times on the weekend, for example, when you had free time,
yeah,
didn't didn't having a routine motivate you to use that time in a more hobby positive way? You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Do I explain myself?
yes, that when you have a limited amount of time to do your hobbies,
Yeah,
you
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 focus more on your hobbies.
you have you have more motivation to do them, since you won't be able to do them otherwise. While when you have a lot
Yeah,
of time, it's kind of uh, like
yeah, exactly.
it loses its charm. It's a bit like if something is rare and then it becomes common, it's like it's not as valuable anymore.
Agreed. It feels like it, but I'm not sure. You know, it's a theory, I guess.
But
Um,
there is probably something mental about that. Because I think humans probably have something in them in which rare things we like versus common. Like we might like, maybe it has something to do with like, oh, it is rare, so it's better to like, if we don't acquire it, then it's gonna disappear. While the common thing, we can just leave it because I mean it's common, so when we go back to it, it's still gonna be there. Could be.
I know that I operate that way, at least, kinda. You know, I lean more to that. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so next on the list is painting. You know, it
No, no,
relates to
that
this
was the
topic super
painting
directly.
one.
Well, what I recommend you to do then is like have your painting stuff super close to you. It's probably next to you, honestly.
Yeah,
Put on a
it's on my desk here.
put on something that you don't have to even focus your attention to, like not even a podcast. You know, like put yourself some music, and that's it. Music and your figurines to paint, and that's it. And paint them. Don't think about anything else. Just you know, get your mind in a super zen state. You know, zen like Buddhism. You know, and do that thing, and that's it. You know, face out doing that.
Yeah, I mean, that is something I strive for, being able to lose myself in painting. Um, but
In the
oh well,
motion.
we'll see in the future.
Yeah,
Uh,
gotcha. So
and then
next
there's
topic.
video games.
Yeah,
Like,
video games.
what type of video games have you been playing? Yeah, because at the moment, I'm actually doing a let's play of Battlefield 1, I think. Yes. I'm.
Yeah, like super traditional FPS games do not interest me a lot. But one of my plans that I had recently was I always been playing Smash because I've been doing that shit forever. It's one of my routines because I used to go to tournaments and it's to keep my skills, you know, top level and whatnot. Uh, but what I've been meaning to play is probably it is two games and for two different reasons. One of them is Metal Gear Solid 5 because there is a realism mod that you'll die like in two shots and the guards can see you like 500 meters away, something like that. They have a more realistic eyesight. And for a stealth game, that is cool as fuck because you make that stealth game, that engine, the Fox engine, the engine of Metal Gear Solid 5, you make it into like a milsim, a military simulator, pretty much, and it feels like super good.
Alright, yeah.
Feels very natural, and it makes the
Is
game much harder.
is Metal Gear Solid 5? Is that the game with the girl with
Quiet,
yeah,
the bikini, right?
The sniper girl. I don't know her
Yeah,
name.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Probably this playthrough I'm going to kill her because she adds almost nothing to the story, to be honest. I didn't like her. Her character arc is very fucking boring. She was put there, honestly, because of eye candy. I'm not even cheating you. She's really not that fucking relevant
All right.
at all.
Yeah. Because I mean, I've never played the Metal Gear Solid game, but I do remember her from seeing. Like, I think she looked good, and
Uh-huh.
but it never motivated me. I mean, I'm not gonna buy a console. Like, if the only
Uh,
consoles I would buy would
the
be
game is for
like
PC though.
handheld ones, but
That game is in PC though,
oh, it
if you're
is.
wondering. Yeah, and it's really good. Maybe you
Oh,
should even, if you want, fucking pirate it. You know, it's super, super good, actually. And with the correct mods, you
I
can make
thought
it even better.
oh, I thought the Metal Gear Solid. Oh yeah, that's true. I thought the Metal Gear Solid games were all PC exclusives. Not PC, PlayStation. Sorry.
No, well, not anymore. Only 4 now, and you can emulate it now. You can get the PS3 emulator and get Metal Gear Solid 4. Well, anyway, diversion in the topics here. The second game that I want to get into playing, and it is because of fitness reasons, is it's called a Thrill of the Fight or Thrill of Fight, something like that. It's a boxing game, and I have a VR headset, and you can play that game, and you can actually do cardio. You actually, work out with that thing. And I've been meaning to work out more because of COVID, because of my age. I'm like 26 right now. So I want to get more of that stoic Greek body statue potential out from my body because I actually have like I do believe that I have a really good frame, to be honest. I have like a good genetics. Uh, I'm not fucking bragging here. My body has potential and I can see it, and like I want to bring more of it out. At least to see what Socrates meant, because he has a quote that I feel bad for a man that is an amateur in fitness, something like that. He has a quote on that, and I read philosophy a lot because it's super fun and about science as well.
Yeah, but also like if you don't take care of your body, I mean, it will affect your mental capabilities as well. I mean, when you're fit, you everything just works better. Like there is no positives on being out of shape.
I
Like
do not I do not know if it works for you, but supposedly exercising makes endorphins come out in your brain and you become happier and whatnot. I don't know if it works for you, like physical movement, or like getting your adrenaline pumping, running or something.
yeah, it is. I know that endorphins do that. The problem I have is the fact of my ME when my blood starts pumping all that, and when my heart rate goes up, as it does when you exercise, I get a crash. I have an
Gotcha.
autoimmune disorder,
Uh-huh.
and physical exercise makes it worse.
Uh-huh. Um,
So I do still exercise since I have to. Otherwise, I would be even worse shape than I am. And the
uh-huh.
exercise I do is that I stand up. That's why I have a standing desk now. I try and stand between 20 to an hour over the course of a day. And having a standing desk helps a lot. Maybe you could argue that I lean more than I stand, but it is some type of exercise. And then I do a lot of what's known as bed exercise.
It's the stretching in bed and whatnot, and leg ups.
Yeah, and just moving a little bit while in bed, and also get my mom to help me in order to just try and simulate walking while in bed. So you have you're laying in bed and you have your legs up against the wall while you're laying down, and then you are like semi walking just to
Okay,
keep
gotcha.
the
What I do, what I do every day is I stretch in bed after I wake up always. Then I stretch after getting out of bed again, and I do like super extreme stretches as well because I want to be able to get my legs super high like Bruce Lee. I want to be able to high kick very consistently. So I put like my leg on a desk and I have it there, in a side kick position. Uh, and I do 100 push-ups every day. I haven't broke that discipline so far, and I've been noticing differences. Like my chest has gotten bigger, and that's cool. I'm getting like pectorals a little bit, but yeah, it is that. It's pretty much about discipline. And that's it. And I want to add to it the boxing game that I told you, Thrill of the Fight, to do cardio at least something. Um, your next topic is the podcast itself. It says, or Bannerlord. Which one do you prefer? Hello.
Oh, okay. My microphone just muted itself for some reason.
Okay, yeah, you got
Um,
cut.
um, yeah, we talked a little bit about the podcast in the beginning, and when we talked about trying to do like a podcast like at least once a month.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
because I think getting into like a routine would probably make the podcast better because it's not something
Yeah.
new every time. And also maybe what we could do is that we record the podcast in the, oh god, what's the server called? The Goyim server. So we have it there that in case anyone we just wanted to randomly join, they could.
It's super inactive right now, but maybe later it can get some activity, I guess. And yeah, that will be a really good fucking idea.
Yeah,
You're
but
right.
I like that it's inactive because every time I go in, at least I can read. Um,
Yeah, you're not missing out on much. Yeah.
yeah, and even though I will say I do, even when I read, I do miss out on a lot since I don't understand a lot of the culture of the server. Um,
And the context of the conversations.
yeah, but yeah. So if anyone would want to join in on the podcast, just tell me and we'll do it. Um, I want
Yep.
this podcast to be like open and diverse in like what we talk about, the experience that we have on the podcast. Like, yeah,
Yeah, we don't discriminate ideology here. As long as you are arguing in good faith, no problems. Well, even in bad faith, if you want to troll, come in. Go ahead. Doesn't matter.
yeah,
Uh, so, what I was wondering about, what about Bannerlord, Moon Blade, that game?
yeah. I'm gonna see if I have it. I don't think I have it installed. No, I don't have it installed. Um, and Bannerlord, to me, I was feeling like, all right, I'm gonna wait until at least 2022 to start playing it again, to see how far in the development it has come. Since to me, Bannerlord is a game that really, really needs not Mountain Blade. All Mountain Blade games, they really need mods to truly be amazing games. And at the moment, well, I don't know if it is at the moment, but when I was playing, um, they were doing updates that kept breaking all the mods that you had. So you had to, just restart over and over and over again.
That shit happened to me so fucking much and I pirated it and I didn't have any mods to it. And that thing happened to me a lot. Said games getting corrupted and all those things. Holy moly. It was so
Yeah.
annoying. So annoying. But yeah.
So I'm gonna wait and see how the game is. Um, like that. I mean, I would say I've already gotten my money's worth from Bannerlord. Um, because I think I have like over 100 hours on it. I don't remember how much I spent, but so for me, it is worth. Like I'm willing to wait a couple years to play it again. Um,
Yeah. I'm considering buying it as well because even in the pirate version, I enjoyed that game a lot. So with the Steam Workshop mods and the online. The online is not that fun, they say, but with those two, I'm going to have more content. What else?
Yeah, I've never enjoyed the Mountain Blade online experience. Um, I would say that the online experience is probably fun if you're playing with a guild where all of you have voice chat and then you can like role play as an actual army. Because that was something that was in Napoleon. In Mountain Blade Warband, there was like a DLC called the Napoleonic War. And in that game, the multiplayer was fun when you played with like a big group and all of you were talking, because you had people like role playing as commanders and then you would line up and then so it was more of a role playing like LARPing than it was an actual like video game.
I know those communities because of Arma 3. I believe that those communities are really good if they are good actors, if they actually have like acting skills, kind of. Then they are like super expressive, right? Because they make it fun. And also because of trolling, pretty much. You can troll those groups when they take themselves too seriously, but they are like lame. They are not really funny or in character, really. So you can troll them, and that's funny. Either one of the two. Either way, you can win in some way. Uh, anyway, so can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you check up the patch notes of Bannerlord at least, so like we can get an idea about what was added to the game.
Let's see. Bannerlord. Oh god. Okay, wait. Whoops. I'm in the wrong tab. It's in community, right?
Oh, by the way, as a quick side topic, you asked for an anime in one of your videos, right? Like recommend me an anime to watch. I recommended you the Scaflone one.
Wait, what did you say?
Did you make a video where you asked us, the public, right,
Yeah.
to recommend you an anime, right?
Yes.
Recently, I recommended you the Vision of Escaflowne, that anime, because I haven't watched it myself, but I've been told that it's super super good,
Yeah.
and the villain of that anime as well, because I myself I haven't watched anime in like 4 years because new anime is just so bad typically. Uh, that new has fallen off a lot.
Yeah, I
I don't like.
added that to my backlog. I haven't watched it yet. Um, it's just on the backlog since I have a lot of things that I plan to
the
that I'm watching at the moment. I mean, I have a my anime list page,
Yeah.
and I mean, I'm currently. I mean, at the moment, I'm just watching the Pokemon. Like,
Yeah, that's so good. I commented you on that, by the way.
yeah, and I read that. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
told
so
I told
far,
you that season grade is super good.
yeah, so far of what I've seen, I mean, okay, I can see like how many episodes in am I at the moment? Let's see. I think I just finished season 3 yesterday, and yeah, I'm on episode 161 at the moment of the Pokemon series, and which is season 4. Um, and I'm enjoying it even now in Johto. I mean, I'm about I'm getting to the point where I stopped watching the show uh, when I was young. I mean, Pokemon, the original season 1, came out, I think it's 2000, 2001 in Sweden. So I was around 5 years old, 4 or 5, when I watched Pokemon. And then I got, the games, because I think the games came out in Sweden at that time as well. And the original, I actually think Yellow came out first in Sweden, but I'm not sure. Maybe it was just my experience. I remember Yellow being the first Pokemon game I played. I don't even remember. Yeah, I think I played Red as well, but I did not like it as much as Yellow.
Yeah, Yellow was this expansion of Red, pretty much.
Yeah.
What I was going to say, real quick, this is a message to the public watching. If I interrupt Andreas a lot, it's because we have delay between each other. So it is that. It's not that I intend to, even though sometimes socially I interrupt a lot because I talk really fast.
Yeah, and it's a two-way street. Like, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure I'm interrupting you from time to time.
no, it's fine. I don't mind. It's your podcast after all. Um, well,
Yeah.
that's it. We are done with the topics.
Yeah, of like the topic list that we did, yeah.
That's a good like 1 hour and a half or more
Yeah, it's
that we
around
went through.
53. We've recorded for 53 minutes.
That's good enough.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, oh god, I mean, let's see. If I go and look up the other podcasts that have existed, I mean,
Real quick, like super quick question. Who the hell do you have so much room in your computer for all those video recordings and whatnot? Because they are like gigabytes, of memory that they take. For example, I have a gaming laptop myself. One of the things that can kind of hinder me from being a content creator, besides motivation, obviously, and consistency, is the memory of the computer, because it's an SSD, right? Like an SSD, solid state. They have less memory in them.
yeah. Well,
So that's it. I have to use external hard drives all the time, and that cocks me a lot of times.
yeah, I mean, I also have an SSD, but I don't save videos or anything to it. Like, it's a half gig SSD, and then I have 3 external hard drives. 2 of them are like 2 of my external hard drives are oh god, what's it called? They're 2 terabyte each, which is 4 terabytes, and then I have an internal hard drive that is 3 terabytes. So
Gotcha.
I have a lot of like space to use, and I also don't save my videos to my computer. After I upload them, I delete them from my from my computer.
Same, yeah. The only way that you can lose them is if YouTube strikes them or something, or if YouTube chooses to close for some reason, which I
Yeah.
don't think is going to happen anytime soon anyway. So
Yeah, and also, okay, if those videos disappear, then they disappear. I mean, I don't plan on those videos like lasting forever anyways. Like, it's just let's plays or whatever, like nothing.
understandable.
Yeah, like they're more like for the moment.
They're like a virtual journal, but it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
Almost every human being does that thing nowadays. Anyway.
yeah, and I'm also not someone who tends to go back. Uh,
Real quick topic, Andreas. You probably don't know about this. Did you know that Christian? Do you know that guy, right?
no, Christian who?
Okay. Christian was a lolcow on the internet. He was an autistic man, like super mentally unhinged.
Let's see.
And actually,
Christian. Is it
he got
Christian
arrested.
Eriksen?
No, Christian.
Chris Chan.
Yeah, it's a nickname for people that show up in 4chan once in a while. So that guy was mentally ill, pretty much. He has like severe autism, like super hardcore. And recently he fucked his mother, and that shit is illegal in his state in Michigan, I believe, something like that. Um, I'm
Well,
probably getting the state wrong, but he freaking he violated her pretty much. She had his mom has dementia, and he took advantage of that thing. Everyone knew that something like that was coming. Um, but yeah, they are going to send him to like an asylum, I guess, like to a mental asylum or something. I predict. He was also like transgender. He started identifying as transgender. How convenient, because he wanted to get into women's jail and whatnot. But he couldn't. He couldn't. But yeah, like that.
okay,
That story
yeah.
is
Now when I'm looking
so
at
fucked
this,
up.
like, yeah, I remember this. I think I watched a document because the Procrastinator podcast did like something about Sonic,
Yeah, Sonchu, the
yeah.
character that he created. Yeah.
And then from that, I actually watched like a documentary, like that was an hour long or something,
Uh huh.
about like
Did you know
him.
that supposedly, do you know that supposedly Christian is one of the most documented people on the internet, something like that? It's
No,
incredible.
I did not know
Yeah.
that.
Well, that's what the memes say, but I'm not sure if that's really true. But
I mean, I can see right here that there's like a playlist of someone called Geno Samuel that
uh-huh.
is 59 videos.
It's a lot of freaking content what Christian has.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably not gonna look into this at all,
No,
but
yeah. It's like watching One Piece, pretty much. It's like watching One Piece. It's a lot of filler, a lot of filler. Well, yeah, that's it. We run out of topics pretty much.
yeah, and I mean, it's a good way to end. And also, I wanted to say a little bit about when I took up like the podcast playlist, and I mean, I don't mind podcast. I mean, we have even done a podcast that was 18 minutes long, like, or 20 minutes. Like, to me, how long a podcast is doesn't matter a lot. I mean,
Of
they
course
could be
not, yeah.
2 hours, like one of them was when we did
Uh-huh.
one with Gamer the Barbarian.
I haven't seen that guy in a super long time.
Yeah, I mean, I think he changed his name, YouTube name. I'm gonna see.
He edits now, I think. Like he charges for editing for a YouTuber and whatnot, which is fine. He's hustling. He's making money in his own way.
Yeah, and I mean, I think he's a pretty good editor.
But yeah,
Um, Udag, there we go. Udag is his name now, and he still makes videos from time to time. Um, I I watch his videos still. Um,
nice.
yeah, so maybe I'll ask him like come on the podcast, do one. I mean, he said that he wants to do a podcast from time to time as well. So I mean,
I was
us
thinking that he
three
was
doing one
busy.
again. Why not?
Uh-huh.
Because I mean, I think the last podcast we did together was when the whole Turkey thing was happening. The military
Um,
coup.
yeah. I remember. That was interesting. He's Turkish, by the way. Yeah. Oh, by the way, in my Discord server, I got a lot of freaking Turkish people for some reason, because of some Turkish nationalist movement that been happening in there. That was like that is like kind of Finno-Mongolian, Finno-Mongolic, Uguric, something like that. Like Turkish people take a lot of pride on their Mongolian ancestry, something like that, and some of them use like runes, the Mongolian runes that they use that look like that look super similar to the Nordic runes.
Yeah, I mean
Coincidentally,
Turkic, weren't they? It wasn't, weren't they that like the Turkic Mongolian tribe? Wasn't it something like that?
yeah,
Uh,
there was one like There is a religion that they had like Turanism, something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Let me find it really quick because I have a lot of people like that in my Discord server.
Yes, because that's actually because I've been playing Total War Attila, um, which I don't understand why people hated it so much. Because I've been playing it, and like a lot of people, when it comes to Total War games, have given I think Total War Attila a bad rep, like it's one of the worst. But when I play it, I'm playing as the Eastern Roman Empire. It's actually really fun. It's a completely different Total War experience. Instead of focusing on expanding, it's more about trying to hold on to your territory while you get bombarded by barbarians or, like by Sassanids, and you have to worry about the Huns and try to, like, oh god, I have to get enough money so that I can pay off the Huns. Like, focus on the Germans. Please don't attack me. um,
Yeah, yeah.
so it's
Sway them
fun.
away.
Like, it's a yes, Tengerism. Yeah, that
Bannerlord,
exists in the game.
that is a Mongolian religion, pretty much.
Yeah,
And interestingly enough, they use a lot of runes that the Nordics use. Do you notice? Like some of them,
yeah, it looks similar.
like super similar. There is a theory that it's probably because all those cultures, when the human was primitive, right, and was evolving and whatnot, they did so. One of the regions was in like around Finland. Interestingly enough, that's why Finland has a lot of like Asian-looking blonde people because they had like Mongolian genes mixed up with Nordic genes and whatnot.
Well, it's the Sami people.
Yeah,
They
the
exist
Sami.
here in the northern Sweden as well.
Uh-huh.
There's more of them in Finland at the moment than here in Sweden because in the 18 or 1900s, the Swedes were like genociding them and just
Damn.
were like pushing them out when the southern Swedes were conquering the northern parts.
Uh-huh.
They were like genociding them. They were pushing them out. Like so. The people we call Swedes, like Germanic Swedes, were more in the southern part of Sweden, and the Sami people, which are the more like the blonde, like light-skinned, like Asian people, were in the north,
I
and
see.
they are a lot about like reindeers. Like if you eat reindeer meat here in Sweden, you're probably eating something that from a Sami reindeer farm. Um,
Yeah, that's interesting.
and
There
then
is also a
yeah,
so sorry for the interruption. It is a delay totally. Anyway, so there is also a meme about Finland, right? And they call them Fingolians because they are like part Mongolian and whatnot. It's funny. It's funny. Um, yeah, and that's it. That's all I wanted to tell you
yeah.
about it.
I mean, oh god, I remember there being some of those jokes towards some of the Finnish people in class in school, like when to play some Mongolian throat singing, and then you would say like a traditional Finnish music.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, that thing.
yeah,
It's I find it super beautiful, by the way, when they do
I,
throat
I I
singing.
really like Mongolian throat singing. It's really nice.
Yeah, they can hold two notes at the same time. It's super interesting. Well,
I mean, I
let's
would
wrap it
say that a
up.
lot of like traditional music, no matter where it's from, I think it's really nice. And I think the reason for that is that the only thing that truly becomes like tradition or whatever, like that gets spread to other countries are like the good things. Like you wouldn't
Gotcha.
spread like the things that are shit, which is probably like like 95
Yeah,
percent. I
I
would
hope that I hope that liberal culture never gets into like classical,
wait. You
like
cut
culture.
out. You cut out. What did you say?
Okay, I hope that liberal culture, such as Californian culture, I hope it never becomes part of the classic American culture and whatnot,
Oh,
or folk anything of anybody, because that freaking culture is bullshit. You know, it's shit, absolutely trash. Oh well. Anyway, let's wrap this podcast up already.
yeah. And I mean, I guess um, should we do a little bit of like a preview of like maybe what should we talk about on the next podcast, and then after that we end. So that
We
could
can
be
make
like the outro. Do you
We
have?
can make a list, but we improv most of this. Absolutely improvised usually.
Yeah.
Uh,
And but I would like to, for the next podcast, if like we did today, like you might come up with like 3 or 5 topics, and then I come up with 3 or 5 topics, and then we type them in the chat, and then we follow, like we did. We follow the topic list in the
it
beginning,
works.
while also like interjecting with like side topics related to the topics that we did.
Uh-huh.
And then here
Uh-huh.
at the end, we're just doing some random rambling about whatever.
Hmm.
I think that's a pretty good, um, what's it called?
Way to structure things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
Because one thing I would like to talk about, not today, but maybe in another podcast, whatever, um, would actually be because that is something I've talked about with some other people, especially some people from the UK, um, when it comes to like Sweden and the fact that Sweden did not do a lockdown.
Oh,
Um,
uh, I probably don't know a lot about that topic, but I can try to improv, I guess. I'm
no,
not
but
sure.
I mean, I would like to know about where you live, how did they do? Like,
They made lockdowns and they had like how do you call them? Like lights, you know, like stoplights, pretty much. They told you that it's on red light in this state, let's say, and you cannot
alright,
go out. It is in like orange light or green light stuff.
alright. Yeah, but
Almost no state was a green light. Everything is super restricted, and I had to get vaccinated, for example, if I want to travel.
alright. So I think
So
that is
there's
something I would like to, maybe we'll do it on the next podcast. We can save that for the next podcast.
gotcha.
And then we can talk a
Tech
little bit about like these 2 years of COVID. How was it? Because I will be honest, for me, pretty much no difference. Uh,
uh Well, the last time that we talked, I was working a lot and I was super isolated or whatever. So same for me, like not much difference, but it's been more boring, I guess. I can say that. But that's it. Like not much.
yeah.
Uh,
Um, do you want to like plug your channel, or whatever, or should we just boom? We're just gonna end it right here.
not right now because I'm not producing content. Wait till I finally get the freaking motivation that I've been telling you about like for 3 years or some shit like that, dude.
Yeah.
And start, grinding. Because I have a community, I have a Discord and whatnot, and I can get them onto my shit. And I share.
Mm.
So wait till I start to do it, and then I plug it. Sure.
Yeah, and also I'm just gonna talk a little bit here. Apologize for maybe the audio qualities. Um,
Yeah.
I think it has to do with the fact that we use Discord. Maybe I don't know.
It's
Um,
also the distance between us.
mm, uh, but yeah, I mean, thank you guys for watching this podcast. We were recording this at, I'm gonna say, in Swedish time, and the 14th of August 2021. Whenever this gets released, we'll see. But that is when we recorded it. The 14th of August, Swedish time.
All right. Well, it was good. It was good. So that's it, dude. Bye bye. Take
Goodbye.
care, Andreas. Take care.